ideas as to what could be done. And then Anke, who was with us, I believe, who works for the Views head office in Belgium, she was telling us about how difficult it is to fill in these forms, these sort of funding forms that you get before you go on trips, and how detailed the process is. So it made some of us realise that you wouldn't be able to get very far probably without these forms. So we talked about maybe, for example, self-sponsoring, where we might sponsor ourselves. Maybe we could set up events in our own countries and own local areas, for example. And this goes to really basic things. Somebody, I think, suggested a cake-making sale. Sure, you wouldn't get very much out of it, but you get a bit of money out of it. To the more sort of, maybe doing a sort of marathon or that sort of thing, you know, to raise a bit more money and maybe a bit more awareness about the charity. So after we'd done that, we then, Vicky then joined us, which was quite fortunate for us really, because she gave us some experience, she gave us some ideas of how Views International could possibly begin to sell, begin to maybe get some of its own fundraising. What was that for? Was that yes, but I'm coming to that. I've just been reminded by someone, thankfully, thank you, whoever that was, I think it's Vanessa, that Mike kindly suggested to us that some big international law firms might sponsor us. So, for example, you wouldn't be able to advertise them, but if you sort of gave details about the organisation, for example, they obviously have money, and they may have chosen to give us a little bit about it, but we had to be very careful what we said in the application process. I'm going to quickly move on now because I'm aware that time is short. So the next thing we talked about was possibly Views setting up its own social enterprise. Now, for those of you who aren't very knowledgeable about that sort of thing, it's about maybe setting up a little business, and every profit that is made goes back into the company. People's wages are taken into account, which we should say. But the thing is, most of the money that is raised and gained goes back into the organisation itself. So therefore, you sort of self-generate the funds, if you like, to maybe be able to afford to go on some of these trips. As I say, we did the law firms as well. We spoke about those, and if people were interested in Views or in general about maybe setting up their own social enterprise, they do have conferences and things like that you can go on. So there are things, there are sort of like courses out there you can go on to get some experience and some knowledge about how to set up, because it's the way forward now in society because of the jobs market being as it is. A lot of people, blindsided, are beginning to set up their own social enterprises. So, as I say, it was a bit of a slow starter, our project, but we did get some ideas. I think I've got all the ideas out that we spoke about. If I've forgotten, please let me know, and if not, thanks very much for listening. And I hope.
Thank you very much. I think it was really good, understandable. So